a cleansing ritual. Well, it's both kind of a cleansing and something that brings in fresh energy from the elements. But that is supposed to represent like the microcosm of the universe. And then the greater ritual of the hexagram, or just the ritual of the hexagram, is essentially just the bigger form of it. So instead of using the elements to kind of cleanse and balance the energies, you move on to the greater ritual to be able to balance the macrocosm, so the bigger, so the world at large, as opposed to yourself, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that utilizes the seven planets. So
Huh. This book is interesting because it also has sigils and stuff in it too.
oh
What's
yeah,
up,
you have to
Carissa?
yeah you have to like draw them along with the hexagrams and the pentagrams that you do, but there's degrees of it. So like, say I'm going to take the lesser ritual. The first is that you just have to learn the form. So that's really just vibrating the god names, knowing where the particular archangels are, and knowing the appropriate. Um, you start off with like the earth pentagram, and then there's two forms of it, which just adds more to the ritual. So you would add like the different symbols in the pentagrams associated with, I guess, the four elements or the four animals or that sort of thing. And then
Okay. So hold up, you got to stop because we got to start him at the beginning.
I haven't done it. I haven't done it in a while. I only really ever did the first form of the lesser ritual of the pentagram, because that's what I just wanted to care for and try to master. But again, I've done like the longer forms of it. Then it's the idea is that you're supposed to essentially uh, balance and cleanse your space, and that's their version of casting a circle sort of thing. But it does a lot more than that. So
It seems like it's a lot. Okay, so tonight, hey everybody, let's see. We have Lotus Mystic, this baby bear. Hey Tasha, I love y'all too. Hey Rach, Kanika, Tiffany, Shield. I am doing good, y'all. I have been in the streets this whole holiday week, and I'm tired.
or
I have been in
EO.
the streets. I've had people come visit. And even though it's good for fellowship, your girl, all I wanted to do, because I've been eating so much, is sleep. Eat and sleep. That's all I wanted to do. But I haven't been able to catch up with it yet. Y'all also know the destroyer of the universes, since y'all are already telling him hi.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's been a while, I guess.
It has been a while. Let me go ahead and turn
Just
up.
before I go any further, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Oh, and happy Hanukkah too for those that celebrate.
Hmm.
We got to cover everybody. Cinco, what's up? Brolik, hello, hello. So tonight we decided it's a beautiful and tiring race. You're absolutely right. Hey, Adeline. It is. It's beautiful and so tiring. Tonight, last time Marcus was on here, a destroyer of the universes. Let me get it right. Destroyer of the universes was on. We talked about demons and demonology, working with the demons. Tonight, I kind of came up with planetary magic to kind of pick his brain a little bit, which is what he was talking about when y'all came in on some things. And I felt like planetary magic would be really great just because we're going into 2025. And I know some people are going to be doing some road opening work and some other things. And we got lamps coming in. Lotus Mystic Haven has lamps that are coming in January. So get with her on her page because she's doing rituals. Hey, Unique Love. Hey, Victoria. I'm going to do the yearly lamps. And I probably, because Lotus Mystic Haven is doing them in January, I'm going to push mine back to February. So I'll be putting something up for the lamps for February, and we'll probably be doing like 4 or 5 lamps, like we normally do. Hey, CNAT, at the beginning of the year or during springtime. So before we get in, okay, she's doing lamps and cleanses in January. So if you're looking for that, please, please, please go to her page, look at the literature. She has everything already posted on there, what the ritual, what the lamp is, the cost of it, and everything. So definitely go check it out. Um, and I'm trying to, it's a couple of other people doing some stuff, but I feel like that everything is going to be popping up. There's a lot of New Year's stuff that's coming in. So please, 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 if it's something that you're looking for, and you know, especially with cleanses and everything like that, I feel like everybody needs to cleanse off. Lotus Mystic Haven is her page. Alyssa, go ahead and put your website up there. I feel like everybody probably needs to clean off the funk of 2024 moving into 2025. Now, typically in springtime is when the new year begins, but I mean, hey, it don't hurt to start cleansing early, all right, to get some of that negativity off of you so you're not bringing it in throughout the beginning of the year. Hey, Aquamoon. So, the destroyer of universes, tell them who you are, just for those who may not know who you are.
So, hi everyone, I'm Doug Graves, the Friendly Neighborhood Necromancer. You can find me on my business page on Facebook with the same name, the Friendly Neighborhood Necromancer. And I do have a channel on YouTube, the Necropolis of Doug Graves, which is all the saved videos that I've done in the past. But hopefully, coming next year in a few days, I'll be regular putting out content.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah, might as well do something with it, right? So,
Yeah, you're gonna hit it back up. That's good. That's good news.
mhm.
You
But
should, because you were doing really good. I don't know. I know a few of you that were following the page. Y'all know that he used to do his talks, and he would also do readings, and he would have guests, and it's kind of like what we're doing tonight, where we're kind of discussing some things, even though we are going to be adding some readings in between the discussion. So, the topic for tonight is planetary magic. You want to go ahead and kind of give them insight on exactly what that is?
well, planetary magic is a system of magic. It can be used as a system of magic on its own. But for myself in my practice, it's part of kind of it's a subset of, is a subset magic of a greater system. But essentially, it stems from Western magic mostly. And essentially, the planetary magic is more so about kind of affecting your world or the universe at large rather than on a larger scale rather than a smaller scale. If you compare it to something like the elemental systems of magic, which is actually the complement between the two, uh, the way it is in like hermetic systems or ceremonial magic is like the elements are some represent the microcosmic world, so it could represent us as people, or it could just represent the world at large, compared to, say, for example, the planets, which are the next spheres up, or the next layers up in a greater reality, but representative more about of the cosmos rather than the actual material world. So with planetary magic, like the elemental systems, they are representative of human experience. Whereas the elements, you have four general expressions: fire, air, water, earth. In planetary magic, traditionally, you would have seven. So it would be the moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So the seven ancient planets or seven traditional planets, which kind of give that, it's the main focuses are those particular forces, and utilizing them to effectuate reality essentially. So,
I always wondered why they only went, but now you just explained it, why they only went with a certain number of planets. So it's just pretty much the seven major or ancient planets that would affect us.
well, there's an exoteric and an esoteric thing. So back then, before the invention of the telescope, Saturn was the furthest planet that they could see. After
Gotcha.
Galileo and or the other inventors of the telescope, then they could see the other planets as well, right? But esoterically speaking, Saturn was representative of kind of like the outer bounds before the loftier realms. So they call them spheres, or the different realms of I guess of how high towards the source, i.e., God or whatever it is that they represented.
Mhm.
So essentially, you would have the elements which were at the bottom, which would be our world. So those were the four elements, and then you have the seven spheres, which would be the seven planets in the Chaldean order, which I named already. So in the first layer up would be the moon, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, in that fashion. So you go kind of up a seven-step ladder, and that represents kind of like the major forces of the cosmos. And then beyond that would be the sphere of the zodiac, or the constellations, which are the 12 signs. So the sphere of the fixed firmament, which represents a really, really lofty power, because it's kind of like the bounds before you get to the sphere of the prime mover, which is essentially pure spirit, right? Which is essentially like literally heaven or the throne of God. So it's kind of like that particular hierarchy, or because if you think about how back then how they represented it after Saturn, then you have the sea of stars. What's beyond the sea of stars? God. So
And it's interesting that all these planets have a god name.
well, yeah, like they're obviously like named after the Greco-Roman gods and what they represent, but they're actually, if you look like, I guess not the religion but the more esoteric aspects of what do those seven represent, right? Those are more like the spheres of experience within creation, essentially. So,
Mhm.
so it's kind of like a simplified version of a map of the universe, sort of thing, along with the complementary microcosm view of the elements, right, of the world at large, or of our world, essentially.
Unique Love said, as a Capricorn, Pluto dragged me for years. Oh, Unique Love. Not only you, but us Libras been holding on for dear life. Dear life for years. It is finally time. We're supposed to be able to breathe. So before we get into answering any questions that y'all are putting in, if somebody was just getting started with planetary magic, where would they start?
I mean, there's like various sources that they can go to, like what was it again? Agrippa, the three books of occult philosophy, very large, including the fourth one, very large corpus of Judeo-Christian magic, but it does have some of the has lots of treatises on planetary magic as well. I would look to. There's also the grimoire. Oh, what's it called? The Ars Almadel, I believe that's what it's called.
I
Um,
see that, yeah.
yeah, which is the focus of seven Olympic spirits, which actually, in my experience, they're really easy to get in contact with. More so than some of the more, I guess, mainstream or well-known ones, like the seven archangels. Not that they aren't easy to get hold of. It's just that they're more ready to respond to humans, and there's not really a lot of uh, ceremony and a lot of red tape to go through if you follow it more orthodox. But I mean, with modernity, the way it is, like it's a little bit easier, less ritually, and there's more practical ways of accessing that particular line of power. But I mean, like you can even go with the old school of like the Greco-Roman religion, or the going through the Greek pantheon. That's valid too. Um, the seven archangels that are represented. There's like tons on the internet as the which ones they are. Uh, but yeah, oh, even the demons, you can go that route too.
Yeah,
So
I got them both. I got the angels and the demons of the planets, or what represents. What book is this? Let me put this out here because I just downloaded this. Planetary Magic by Scott Stenwick. And it basically, it has the days, it has the hours, it has the angels, it has the demons, it has their god name, it has their purpose. So it looks like it's not even a thick book, y'all. So it could give you something if you're trying to look into. It even has the sigils in it.
Oh,
Can you
definitely.
see? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even has the sigils in. Okay, so let's take some questions and then we'll come back and because I want to ask you about the days and what would be, we know like Mars for war and Jupiter for money and Venus, but we'll get into that. Let's take some questions and then we'll come back. So let's see. You want to go first? You're my guest.
Sure. I mean, if I can find one. I inboxed you about a spirit and a class?
Oh, yeah, Carissa. Carissa says she inboxed you.
She did? When?
She probably just recently when we
Oh,
were talking, because she asked about your page. So I'm pretty sure she just recently inboxed you.
okay. Let's see. Well, Jennifer has asked a question. Let's see. Feeling like I need to sell my house and move to a fresh start. So this one's for Jennifer Keaton. Recently lost my job. And keep feeling like I need to sell my house. And move to have a fresh start for me and my son, but don't know what is best. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Well, from what I see here, you, because of your job, it's the chart itself is kind of like reiterating what the current status quo is in your life. You're like you're the first figure's a missio. You're in a state of loss, or in this case, material loss. The strongest mode of perfection right now that I see in your 12 houses chart is the fourth house, which is your the house or your home. And adjacent to that, both your communication as well as your child are affected. So you have house 3, house 5 issues. As of now, I would probably recommend you not to make any large movements because you are not in a position to move, essentially. Moving could be considered later on down the line, but if you want to shorten the time that you want to move in or try to make moves towards wanting to move sooner, I wouldn't really recommend it because you would lose too much materially. There are opportunities coming, but you're still, the way I'm visualizing it is that you're still on the road to get to that crossroad of choices. But it's part of the journey that you're going through right now, and you have to walk that path until you get there. I would look to your ancestors if you do practice ancestral veneration to get clarity, and also head to the right crossroad so that you would have the best options of moving, getting a new job, getting the help that you need to be able to manage the issues, whether explicit or not. but I would not recommend trying to move right now, only because it would just be exacerbating what you're going through right now. But look to your dead. They have an answer for you, and also several options and choices. So,
Okay, let's
oh,
see.
sorry. Don't let this situation get you down. You don't want to be repeating bad habits or get it stuck in a rut that you feel like you aren't able to dig yourself out of a hole. I know this doesn't really come off really well in terms of advice, but keep a stiff upper lip, at least for yourself, if for yourself and for what where you want to be.
Okay, let's see. Carissa. Um, the first thing that I'm getting with this court situation or with you, there's a lot of darkness and chaos. And spirit is saying that you have something that's overtaking you. Now, this could be emotions because it's showing you feel betrayed. There is this thing of vengeance, of I want to get back at people. And I ain't trying to judge at all, but sometimes when you're pouring out energy where it just keeps coming from a place of anger, anger, you're feeding something and it's bringing in a lot of chaos and it's causing a lot of that energy to come back in and you're dealing with it. I am seeing defiance on top of you, which basically is like, I am fighting something. I'm not going to stop. I'm not giving up on it. It does show that you have victory, but spirit is saying something about the chaos has to be like calmed down. And I feel like that this male, we got definitely a male energy that knows how to push buttons. They know their trickery energy is on top of this person, which means that if this is a court situation, you have somebody who's going in front of the courts and they're playing the game. They're presenting themselves in a way that makes it look like that they are of sound mind and that they're good and they don't have any chaos. The same way that they're doing that to make themselves look good, though, there's something that they're underhandedly doing to make you look like you are chaotic. Now, defiance could be that maybe this person brings out an anger in you. But spirit is saying that you're gonna have to take a step back because you've been in battle mode, and there's a part of you that's coming in that just wants to fight, 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 and you got to. I think they told you this too before. You got to do something different, which means that you might need to have to soften your spirit. You might need to have to cleanse instead of working just strictly with warrior spirits right now. Let's go ahead and go to like some love spirits or some spirits that may be bringing some type of calm or balance in because you got way too much warrior energy that's coming in. And that makes me think that when you're going to court, you're looking batshit crazy, which would be like the energy of Mars. Ugh, I'm gonna kick your ass in court. You're not gonna do this to me.
Well, to be fair, it would
Mars
probably
is
be
Saturn.
more. Well, no, no. To be fair, more it's more Mars out of balance, so it's the extreme form of it.
It
So,
is. It literally is Mars in a way where it's just like there is a loss of control. And the spirits that are working within that energy, they're not in control the way that they're supposed to be. So there's something that threw them off that's throwing you off. Now, you are going to have victory. Because we have Aries. Aries is showing he has his sword, his spear, and this is showing battle or conflict. The issue is that you're too much in this energy, which means you're trying to fight a lot of goddamn people right now, and it's throwing you off. And spirit is kind of like wanting you to do the Trojan horse thing. Go in, look unassuming. Don't be so quick to want to fight. There's something about your energy that's throwing your court cases off. They're paying attention to your energy, which means even if you're going in dressed up and you think that you got everything together, something about your energy is coming off really dark and unhinged in this court. And it's making the person, the male, look like they're good. And they're not because they're actually trickster energy.
well, to be honest, I would probably even recommend doing a white bath for her.
Yeah.
Key, right? I wasn't paying attention.
Hit you up. She's in your inbox. So you take it from there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like a white bath is it's very simple. Basil, fresh basil, rue. What's the other one that we use?
I mean, you can use basil, rue. You can use coconut milk or goat milk. You can use powdered eggshells.
Yeah,
Uh,
oat milk. But there's a third one that we normally use in conjure, right? There's bay.
I
Is it
mean, you
bay?
could definitely basil, hyssop,
There,
uh,
basil, hyssop. So
hyssop,
rue, hyssop. So for you, who is it again? I
carissa,
can. Sorry, who was the lady again?
carissa.
Carissa. Okay, so um, hyssop, rue, basil, fresh, um, mineral water, uh, goat's milk, but any white milk is preferred.
Any milk. I was gonna say, yeah, any milk.
Um, put a little bit of sugar, um, and a teeny bit of honey. Don't go too stir crazy with honey. Um, boil boil the mineral water with the herbs first. Let it cool. Stick the milk in. Stir. Pray the appropriate prayers.
Mhm.
Make sure you have a candle. Sorry, light a white candle. Have the water. Pray to your ancestors or whomever. Ask for clarity, cooling, and all that other stuff, and get the heat off you. But that should be able to cool you down. But do that for a succession of 3 days. So
What planet would be optimum for her to work with if we were doing planetary magic with this bath?
I would probably go with Venus because it's it's the counterbalance to Mars is you have paired opposites, right? But I'm using more alchemical principle rather than planetary force. There's a thing there too. So I would
Mhm.
go with Venus or hell even maybe the moon too. That would work
I
as
was
well.
thinking the moon too. I was thinking the moon first and then Venus, but either one. Because I think the moon is going to open, she's a diviner, and I think the moon is going to also open up some type of clarity with her.
Well, the thing with Mars, the interaction between Mars and the moon, it might not be the most um because even though like
Optimum in this situation.
yeah, because the moon's emotional, right? So if the the way I would see it is if the Mars energy is too overwhelming, it might
Moon might make her too emotional. What
not
the other way?
emotional, but it would make it turbulent, right? It would just make it worse. So
Got
the
you.
idea it would you would try to balance it with the natural counterpart. So
Which would be Venus.
yeah,
All right. She's still gonna slide. Well, she already slid into your inbox. So y'all can talk about it more.
I mean yeah, it's a simplified form of it, but yeah, any Venusian spirit will do. So
All right. Who's your next one you're choosing?
oh, Coach J, what does she need to work on? Right now you're kind of in a state of a journey or a transformation. The strongest perfection in your 12 houses chart is your 10th house. So that's geared towards career, authority figures, standing in society. I would even put this towards maybe something close to priesthood or initiatory traditions. But from what I can tell, it's either going to be if you run a business or thinking of running a business or joining like a major, I guess, initiatic tradition or order. Um, just be aware that when you do step on this path, that there's going to be a lot of uh, disruption and turmoil, but that's part of the process, and that's what
Mhm.
needs to happen because when dusting off that nasty carpet that needs to be cleaned, yeah, you're gonna get like all that when you beating the rug, you get the dirt off, right? And it's going to show everything, washing away all the impurities and all that other stuff. You're It's a very active force, a very the way your journey is going to unfold, it's a very active, not necessarily passive process. So making sure knowing what you want, why you want it, how you want it, will be very important. Knowing the direction of where you need to go is also very important too. But just be careful of how you feel and um, about certain things, being mindful of your reactions. That can exacerbate issues that are long standing or create new ones. You might find that your material world, i.e., your money, households, finances, might get disrupted from this journey as well. But it's going to make you stronger in the end. Try not to give over to your passions too much. Obsessions leads to darker paths and more disorder. Um, Especially if you have not the nicest friends in your vicinity.
Mm.
I get that, you know, there some of them might be fun to be around, but they might not be the best for you in the long run. So you might want to consider your relationships with some of your friends, associates, all that other stuff. Um, when it comes to wishing certain things, I'm going back to the whole obsession thing. Wishing is great, working is better. Um, if you are applying magic to whatever this journey may be, um, one of my favorite quotes is, "It's not root wish, it's root work." If you're, I mean, I don't know what kind of practice you do, but you know, if you are a worker, you are working, right? You're not in daydream la la land trying to, you know, love and light well, you know what I mean, right? Like the whole, I'm so deluded that, you know, if I'm the best person that I can be in terms of taking the high road, looking through my glass tower, that sort of thing, it's not going to work. There's action that needs to be done,
Yeah.
and it's not the 50-50 at this point. It's going to be like 90-10. So grease those elbows. You've got work to do.
Okay, let's see. Michelle Rodriguez. I had a dream the other night where I was seen by a mambo. She told me it's time, you're it. Any advice? Okay, so quick story. Before I started working the path of Vodou, Oya came to me in a dream. Oya is a Orisha. She's not a Loa. So I remember talking to somebody and I was like, it's interesting. I thought Vodou was going to be my path because of my family. And I said, Oya is like coming to me. And she's like, well, Oya, any spirit can come to you. Doesn't mean that that's the path that you're supposed to work. So I pull cards. Typically, you cannot do a voodoo card with tarot. You can't get voodoo answers with tarot cards per se. You can get images and energies that may have like a connection to the Loa, but not necessarily a Vodou reading, which is something that if you are looking to go that way. But I looked and it's like you're not being called to be a mambo, you're called to be a healer. Um, there's a shaman. There is a connection with a priestess that is goes back prophecy for you, which means that somewhere, um, whether this was in a past life or through something that your family promised, there was a prophecy that you were going to step into a role as a healer, as a priestess, which means that, and you have a couple of different ways that you can actually go with this. I asked if you were being called to be a mambo right now, and it was like, no, with the pendulum. But it is showing that a mambo or a healer or a priestess is telling you that it's time to open that next door, which could be that maybe you have a mambo that was in the family, or there is a connection with a spirit that walks with you that may have been passed down, and maybe you don't even know about it. But basically, it's like you're being called to walk into your path of healing. You're being called to walk deeper into your prophecy, which means something was foretold a while ago. So I would say for you, it's time to probably do a little bit of researching on what exactly it is, what tradition you're being called to. Um, because it shows that there is a lineage or a connection with your family, which means somebody practiced something. And it may be like the way that I explain it is that sometimes we wake up in certain parts of our lives where we're called, and it's like I don't even know why I'm doing this, but it's because spirit is calling you. It's almost like what is that 007 where he's on vacation and then he gets the phone call, and he's like, do, you know that he's activated. So it's like you're a sleeper cell and you've been activated. So I hope that made sense to you, because I don't know why the fuck Spirit got me talking about 007. But it's basically like Spirit is like, okay, you have been activated. So let's go heal. I hope that makes sense. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into it, then I would probably book a longer reading or book a Vodou reading if that's something that you're interested in. But I feel like there are a couple of different paths that are opened up for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Doug Graves.
All right. So this one's for CNET Henry. Will you be able to leave Nova Scotia soon? From the looks of it, there is a chance there, but it's weird because the way the chart is, there's not really much of a connection that I can see of how that could manifest. Even though the beginning's right there, it's like there's no way for that particular pathway in. Right now, it seems that your bigger concern is now, I don't know if you have kids or not. If this is not children, this either could be you being distracted by the pretty lights of life, so having good times, that sort of thing. I can also see this as a not necessarily a romantic partner, but what do you call it? It's not like it's not your partner. It's, I don't want to say like fuck buddy, but it's the
Booty buddy?
no, I don't even want to say friends with benefits sort of thing. It's under like boyfriend, but not friends with benefits. Like it's a higher than friends with benefits, below boyfriend girlfriend. Um,
A partner? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. It's somewhere, the way it's coming off. It's somewhere in there. It's not necessarily boyfriend. It's not necessarily fuck buddy, because there's a degree of respect, but the commitment's not there, sort of thing. It's almost like a person is hanging on, or you're hanging on to a person, which is part of the reason why you can't leave right now. But or it's probably is the way it is. It could be one of those things that can distract, or something that's anchoring you, or not allowing the particular manifestation to come about. But if it's not either of those, um, I would have to say, if you are looking at a more financial direction, um, you do have that financial backing. It's almost like you don't have a direction of where you want to be, and you don't have a place to move in yet. If you do, you just don't know where. Um, so maybe I would probably say go back to the drawing board, like suss out what your wants and needs are for moving, and maybe, spirit will lead you into a better or more focused direction. Because if you try to leave now, there's going to be more money loss on your end. And even though it may seem chaotic right now, you are still in a stage of transformation. So roll with the punches for now, until the opportunity strikes, or when it comes to you. But you can always put it to spirit, get some advice, get more clarity from your ancestors or from your
Now,
particular
just to
patron.
interject real quick, she does have a psycho that's obsessed with her. Could that be an energy that is holding her?
Okay, so the thing
So,
is,
are you seeing the psycho now?
no, no, not the psycho, but the particular figure that runs with. Okay, so Albus is the hermit, right? It's the symbol of the hermit. It's Mercury. It's the old man, with the walking stick. But I discussed it with other geomancers too, and when this particular figure comes up in certain places, I could also say vampire or something of a parasite.
That's
So
exactly what I keep getting to. This person is a parasitic energy.
yeah, so because I say that this particular
Can we put some roach spray on them and be done with them? Like, how do we get rid of this parasite?
I mean, there's always cut and clears. There's always freezing spells. If you really want to, you can bury them in a graveyard. I mean, like, there's many ways to get rid of people, or just slap them with a restraining order. But I mean, like, my thing is like exhaust the mundane resources before you bug spirit, because if you're
Right.
really serious, spirit's going to be serious. So now that you've mentioned it, yeah, like I would probably say they're literally locking her in. Is this due to practitioner? Because if this
No, no, but they're spiritually, they're able to astral travel. They could dibble and dabble, but they're not very they do this to a lot of people. It's a very parasitic energy.
Okay, because the way it comes off is that if the way I'm looking at it right now, it's almost like he's got her by the ankles and he's not letting go. Even though he's at like a physical distance, it's like, you're staying. I want you to stay.
Okay. So CNET, we'll work on some separation stuff because it sounds like you're gonna need some help to break this. Damn parasitic people, energies. Hey Javante, thank you, Nika. Were you gonna say something else, Marcus?
No, I was gonna say like devil dick or something like that. So
Well, in this instance, it's devil coochie.
ah,
And sometimes devil coochie is more deadlier than devil dick. Let me get to Allison. Okay, can I have a reading? We lost 2 matriarchs in the last 2 months. Oh, I'm so sorry. Been in a weird state of mind. Allison, spirit. I'm so sorry. So the thing is showing is as much as losing 2 very important people to your family, it looks like that you're actually going through some type of rebirth energy, which means that something ended when those 2 crossed over that is opening a new door to you. But there's a lot of fear. We have the grieving there. So the grieving is a catalyst for this rebirth, which means that there's something that you have been holding on to that you're about to let go of. Now, we have being untrue to yourself, and this could be that maybe you were living life a certain way because of the matriarchs. And the best way that I can explain that is I saw a post where this person was like, the grandmother died in the family, and now this person can finally come out of the closet and be who they really were, whatever that was. There may have been an energy that you were suppressing because of these people, but it looks like that part of a spiritual gift, and in the midst of grieving, a spiritual gift has been given to you where it is literally like, we are setting you free. We are setting you free to open up your magic, to open up a new way of life. Rebirth is on top of you. So what you're feeling is something that's foreign to you because the fake card is on top of you. You've been living your life in a state where maybe you've been trying to make everybody else happy or make everybody comfortable. And now you don't have to do that. So the weird state of mind is literally a new life beginning, a new phase of life, kind of like going through a midlife crisis where some people would say, oh, you're completely doing things differently. But this is all spirit. And it's like, okay, now let's go do the stuff that we really need to do. Let's go do the stuff that we really need to complete in this lifetime for you. And it looks like the rebirth is actually going to be beneficial, but you're grieving in the midst of that. So it could be this energy of, I don't want to be happy about this new beginning because something is making me feel some type of happiness at some point, but I just lost 2 people that were important to me. So this may be that weighing, that up and down, but it looks like whatever this rebirth is, it's going to be really good for you.
oh crap. Okay, I forgot who I actually pulled for, but I'm gonna guess. I believe it might have been Victoria Baker.
Oh, everybody is saying it's a situationship.
Hmm?
So the in between the booty
Oh,
buddy and the boyfriend or the girlfriend title is a situation. We're so fucking old. I'm older than you. You should know this.
I'm not far behind you, dude.
Whatever.
I'm only a little over a decade, but I'm not far behind you. Look, I already mentioned this to you. I'm as old as you've been in business. So
Oh my God. Answer the question. Go, whoever you chose.
okay, I believe this was for Victoria Baker. I got distracted, but I think this is for you. If you put out a wish to the universe, you are. I'm older than you, and I knew Marcus. Do better. Wait, Nika, you're older than me?
I know she ain't older than me.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. I thought she was younger than me. Okay, so Victoria, if you put out a wish to the universe or did some work to bring in a manifestation, it's coming in the droves. There are three. There's three different ways it'll come in. I could also see this as multiple works going out into the universe and being paid forward, come back. If you're looking for money or finances, it's coming in real quick. Um, if you are trying to get better at communication or maybe something education related, not necessarily like higher education, but something that you may have taken a course in, you're going to pass. If you did something with your business or trying to reach a greater status in society, that sort of thing, that's coming in real quick and that's going to come in real hard, and you'll get what you want. The only fly in the ointment, so to speak, is there's work targeting you, and um, I I don't know if I don't know if this is coming from like a friend or someone who used to be your friend who became an open enemy. Um, it could be more than one person as well. Because I'm picking up like evil eye, low magic sorcery, that sort of thing, root work. Um, but and it's trying to stop whatever it is that you're trying to bring in for yourself. But luck's on your side. It's gonna come in. Don't worry too much about it. Um, Make sure you keep your roads open, propitiate the crossroads spirits, that sort of thing. Ask them to turn it back on the people. But stand strong, keep fighting, and sit on your laurels when you get them. And, be petty when you get your manifestations and, uh, I guess put it out on those social media just so you can say, hey, you tried, but it didn't work.
What you say? Say I tried. Oh Lord. You done?
Yep.
All right. So Naya, the first thing that I got was a no. There's some type of delay or procrastination, and it was just a straight up like it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Um, I think it's something that has to do with money. So spirit came in real quick with that. So let me go to unique love real quick. Um, I feel like that whether you're in a love relationship, there's something with infatuation or love that's coming in. The message is don't lose yourself in somebody. This is kind of like, I don't know if this is something that normally happens, but spirit is like, don't lose yourself in a love relationship. Like maintain some type of strength or individuality within a connection with somebody. Now, there is definitely something with optimism on top of love for you that's coming in, and it could be that somebody is working through something and then maybe y'all are taking it to that next step, but it's almost like don't become a person that you don't recognize within this situationship or whatever it is for you. I'm also getting to watch your back with enemies. There's a lot of jealousy and envy around you, and spirit is kind of like watch your back, because it looks like that the energy may be moving in closer than it should, which could be that this is friends, this is family. um it's just basically watch the people that you're dealing with, especially moving into the new year. It looks like there's possibly some people that you weren't supposed to take with you, which I'm sure it'll come to light if they're not supposed to be moving towards you. I am seeing something with reflection. This could be kind of really looking at situations, and maybe it'll make things a lot more clear about who these people are. Somebody might do something and you kind of look at it, you think about it, and you're like, I don't really think they're for me. And spirit is kind of like, whatever it is going to come to the light, and you're going to kind of cut ties with that. But with love, the answer is there is a connection, but don't lose yourself.
Okay. This message is for Tasha. Tasha, did you do something that you weren't supposed to?
Jimmy John say, I love devil coochie. I like people that know what they like. Like, I love devil coochie. Hey.
What was that thing on TikTok? We listen, but we don't judge.
We don't. I definitely am not judging. Hey, devil dick and devil coochie, it exists for a reason.
Tasha, did you do something that you weren't supposed to? Okay. The strongest perfection on the chart is your 8th house, and unfortunately the figures are rubious. Now, on the mundane side, I would probably say that you should try to avoid your worst devils and try to listen to your better angels. But because this is in the 8th house, I'm also looking at sorcery, that sort of thing. It also passes into the 10th house, status, authority figures, that sort of thing. Be careful who you give your money to if you're asking for work. Even though they may be powerful on the outside, they might not be the most balanced on the inside.
I was going to say that don't mean nothing.
But remember that every action has consequences. If you are thinking of going towards this particular darker side of things, be careful. I don't know if it's my influence or Auntie's influence or who's ever, but I mean,
that's why you couldn't even talk.
No, I mean, yes, Tasha, it's just okay. Power isn't everything, but stick with the waters that you know of. Please.
What is that? Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Oh, I haven't heard that song in ages.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You say stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to, right? Yeah. Waterfalls might be too powerful.
Yeah, like I don't know if you went to a hotter spirit or hotter spirits, but please be careful and don't promise things that you can't own up to.
Oh Lord, for real.
But you might pay out more than what you set out to achieve. But please be careful.
Okay, let's see. Kanika Hardia, is it just heavy evil eye or working? Somebody's working you. There is either some candle work or some lamp work that is being done. Spirit is saying wrap your head at night, which makes me think that this person is doing work during a witch's hour, which is typically when workers work when people are asleep. So you might have somebody that's getting up at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. to do the work because it looks like that you're being attacked at night. So I don't know if you're wrapping your head up, but spirit is like you need to keep your head covered because it looks like that they are attacking your head. Also feels too that this person could be astral traveling into your environment because I feel like that there's some kind of way affecting your money. So this could be somebody that's really looking at your environment to try to figure out what they can mess with, or either they're just going on the spiritual realm and they're just kind of picking your head where it's like, okay, I know this is going to cause a problem for this person. And it could be why spirit is saying wrap the head. You do need a cleanse, and you do need to cleanse your space.
This one's for Nika. Are you going to get better before the short-term disability runs out? You might be in for the long haul, Nika. There, I do see something a little bit lingering on the self and health. And if you're not careful, not taking care of yourself from this point forward, you might actually get more problems than solutions. So be sure you dot your I's, cross your T's when it comes to your health and the stuff that you know are trying to take care of. You know, especially with your GI. Yeah, you don't want to exacerbate anything more than you already have or develop anything new. But if you do try to take yourself or try to get close to no less than a little less than perfect discipline and keeping to the regimen that you're setting out to before it runs out and before you need to see anyone, just just take care of yourself so that you try not to develop more things.
You done?
Yes.
All right, let's see. Angela, what is Derek's intentions towards me? So it's real interesting because it's showing he enjoys talking to you. It's showing getting to know you. There's some feelings there. Something's off with his money though. I don't know what's going on with that. But it kind of looks like it's a distraction, which could be that he's trying to get his finances together. The thing that comes in is that the healing card is showing some type of sabotage on top of this person. And then it's like calling in another soulmate or a soulmate connection, which means that this person has 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of energy. And flirtation is outward, which could be that, yeah, they might have some feelings for you. There's some chemistry there, but they're going to fuck it up. It's almost like the healing card is on top of them. And then it's kind of like this person pulls back and then they kind of start dibbling and dabbling outside of whatever this is with you and them. So it could be that they just need to be healed. They're not ready for anything deep because it looks like as soon as something starts to get a little bit deeper, this person pulls back and they start causing problems. And then it shows playing games with you. So I don't know. You might want to nip them in the bud and be like, look, get your shit together. If we're going to try to make this work, let's make this work. Go to counseling, go to therapy, and then come back. And let's do this again. Because it shows like they're in until they're not. They get scared and then they start like fucking up, like tweaking. You know how the men be doing? Like they when it gets to a certain point, don't look Marcus smiling over there. They get to a certain point and they just start like you got to just like knock them in the head to kind of get them back on track. I'm not saying don't hit Derek, don't hit him, but he definitely at some point is going to need a reset, and it may be that you might not even want to reset him.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess women go through that too. I would say, yeah, it's not just men. Sometimes women definitely need a reset too. People get scared, and that's what it looks like is going on or will go on.
Mm-hmm. This one's for Dambala Logistics.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at that.
How will the food truck business go? Um, for the most part, in it like I don't know if this is a new business for you, but it's one of those things where you're paying out more than what you're receiving.
Mhm.
Um, so you will have to put your nose to the grind to have that particular foundation, that startup of business, if this is a new one. But if it's not a new business, then more often than not, you feel like it. The way it is going for you right now, it's almost like you're kind of fighting competition or fighting stuff that gets in the way. There is um, a there is like a external source that can help you succeed. Um, Either going to, I guess, maybe a business convention or something. It looks like higher education or some sort of form of learning that's either from of a distance that can help you bring more of an opportunity of money in. It could be through advertising, it could be like through better business practices, that sort of thing. But if I were a worker, well, no, I am a worker, but another way I could see this too is that you go to a crossroads spirit and petition them to be able to help open the roads, bring in the stuff in, turn the bad stuff away, to be able to help you lay that foundation. Um, because there's there's a thing that you also have to look for too about being frugal, especially in startup businesses or even business in general, knowing how to keep your money, sort of thing. Um, you may not be able to see you may not be able to see all the holes where your money falls through, but part of it is money, this feeling of money slipping away unnecessarily. So you have to find a way to kind of lock it down to be able to help finance your business. So the business that which pays for itself, which eventually kind of gets kind of that snowball effect sort of thing that brings more money in. But the idea of being able to retain money to be able to like have money. Um, Another avenue of this is that uh, you can try and convert to working under someone for the time being, and then once you get that experience and that foundation, then you can break off and go independent again. But that's another thing too, that is another option for you to be able to help continue your business. um, Try not to be too impulsive with things. um, there's this kind of like weird, like very when you start things or things that begin, there's this whole massive energy but then dies really quickly. Try to find ways of extending the energy or that passion over time. Try not to not burn out too much. um, and try not to be wishy-washy when it comes to decision making as well. Um, if you find that is a problem or that comes up from time to time, especially when it matters most, make sure to try to keep that vision, that direction of where you want to be for you and that business. Um, it's a dog eat dog world for independent businesses. So especially in this economy, so you have to be on your toes. You have to keep that level
Absolutely.
head. You have to keep that drive, and it's annoying, but it's one of those things that you some people have it, some people don't, and some people can foster it, some people can't. So this is kind of going to be kind of like the crucible moment for you to see whether or not you got what it takes. So um, good luck. I wish you the best, and you know, do what you need to do, and do what your dreams tell you to do. So
The whole time that I was looking at it, I kept tasting like, I don't know, like curry goat or curry like stew chicken or something like that. I don't know. So I think that you're going to be doing some like ethnic food because I was like, okay, oh, it smells so good. And I also kept hearing too that Legba is like, I want you to work with me more. So there may be something definitely with some road opening work that you need to do.
I mean, even Legba. right? You have to understand that that particular spirit is of fate and destiny, that sort of thing. He's also one of the figures. Well, I've read this. I'm not sure if it's true, but he's a figure of the homeless. So things like
It is.
out,
Absolutely.
outreach programs, right? That's
Yes.
the thing,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. I mean, giving to the homeless will impress upon him that you are willing to sacrifice, and he also will reward you for that. I mean, in Vodou, we're told you never pass a homeless person without giving them something, because it could be legba. He could be, incognito. So we always give him money or food so that we're taking care of him. Now, of course, you shouldn't be doing that with the guys that, oh, this could be the Loa. You should be wanting to do that anyway. But he definitely, he's a trickster. So some people, and I've heard this story with people with food trucks or like businesses with restaurants, where they push the homeless away, or they make a big deal about, the certain clientele. The business doesn't last in some of these environments, because could it be that you offended Legba and he closed your door? Now, I don't know. I know personally, whenever I see him on the streets, he getting some money, because I can't afford to offend him. So everything that you said was absolutely on point. So let's see. Jimmy Joss, any messages on what I need to work on? The first thing, Spirit, was kind of like you lost your spark. So I don't know what that is, but it's almost like evidently you're not getting enough double coochie. Now, of course, the double coochie isn't the only thing that's going to bring your spark back, but there is something about your passion. Something is not where it needs to be. I also get a lot of critical, like self-talk, a lot of critical thinking. Maybe I'm not good enough. It's not going to happen for me. I'm never going to get what I want. A lot of us probably within the last few years, COVID has kind of set some tones for people when it comes to like the mental of completion of things, because we're living in a different world. So a lot of things that we're trying to manifest are not maybe manifesting as quickly as we want. So it's real easy to kind of get in that, whoa, it's not going to happen. It's too much work or whatever. So that's the energy that I'm getting. Spirit is like you're letting something overtake you. I'm also too getting like a lot of energy of, don't listen to what a lot of people say, which could be feeding into that. You could be with someone that is kind of planting seeds, and you're like, okay, yeah, they're right. This is not going to happen. Spirit is saying that there is something that is opening up for you magically. This could be spiritual growth. This could be the ancestors trying to give you some guidance. You have a lot of spirits that are talking to you, but I think because there's a lot of other conversations that are going on in your head, you're not hearing everything. So I would say meditation. Let's start clearing some of the energy out and really focusing on, some clarity. Now, here's the thing with meditation. I'm not going to say that it's going to be woozy woozy. You're going to see rainbows and butterflies every time you meditate, because the purpose is to open yourself up to the messages that spirit brings in. Sometimes they give you some stuff that it's not to hurt you, it's to kind of give you guidance. If they tell you, why are you going in this direction, and you've been through this direction 5 times, they're trying to get you to break a cycle. And I feel like that's what something is happening here. Spirit is like, you need to break a cycle. You also need to put boundaries down with some people around you. And they say, stop trying to fix people. Just stop trying to save people. I mean, double coochie, let double coochie be double coochie. We can't heal it. It needs to be out there. That's what it does. So don't try to heal everything that you're not supposed to. If it's not for you, let it go on its way. But they definitely want you to focus a lot more on positivity, because there's something that's coming in where it's a cloud over you. And it's like you really need to let that go and understand your power. I keep hearing, remember your power. So there's something that Spirit is trying to show you.
This one's for
Oh, hey,
Tommy.
Demond.
Sorry, I was gonna go to the next one.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so this one's for Tommy Renee Todaro. Does Spirit have a message for me? Um, if you are looking for a new job or a new opportunity in a job, there is one coming your way, um, through a third party or an external, um, I would say a third party business or a third party person. You might get a message from a friend, or you might come across an advertisement that might fit the bill. Um, there's also either a new love interest or a new enemy, or a love enemy that might be coming in. Your several options. That's coming your way real quick. Um, if you do run in the same circles as we do, if you're a worker or anything like that, there's someone trying to throw at you, making you lose your money. Um, this is an open enemy or a friend that turned enemy recently, and they may be asking other people to throw at you as well, just as petty as they are. But other than that, try not to feel down or go into the darker places of your mind. Try not get trapped within yourself. Um, that's the only real thing. But other than that, there's still lots of good coming your way. Just try not to get stuck not to be too in your head too much. Uh, Go touch some grass, exercise, that sort of thing. Um, but keep yourself mentally healthy, essentially.
Okay. Let's see. Kiara, today is my dad's third year transition. Oh, I'm sorry, sweets. I think mine is coming up on his second this week. So I'm so sorry. Um, the first thing that I get is he definitely is with you. Now, you got two different cards that are showing let go of guilt, and forgive yourself. So I think that this time may bring up something where it's like, I could have done something differently, or I should have done something better. There's a lot of forgiveness that needs to come your way, which makes me think that you're holding on to some unresolved pain. And I mean, it's only been 3 years, so there could still be some underlying grief that is there. Um, he's showing something with an animal, and I don't know if you have an animal that lives with you that kind of looks at corners or certain things in the house, because your dad visits a lot. Um, he definitely is trying to guide you, and he's saying that you're stubborn. And we get that message last week where spirit was saying there was something that was going on with you and you were stubborn, or you don't want to do things a certain way. I don't know if this is against your dad trying to force you to do something a certain way, as spirit coming through. But I'm definitely getting that there is he comes in your environment a lot. And I'm getting something with an animal. I don't know if the animal is connected to him or connected to you, but I'm definitely getting an animal that knows when he's around. um, there is a lot of guidance that's coming in from your ancestors, but you got to surrender. And I think that was your message last week, was let's let it go. There's some control issue or something that's going on where spirit is like, okay, let's let it go. So it looks like that you are, because it's going to help you reclaim some power. So I think what's happening is you're in this mode of, I think I'm powerful, or I think I have my power, and you really don't have it. You don't have it, but you will, because I think what you're controlling something that isn't power. So I don't know what that is to you. I keep hearing fear. So maybe there's some type of controlling of fear. And if it's like, if I do it this way, if I turn it this way, I can manipulate it into doing what I want it to do. And that's not the way that it works. Fear is fear. It's just it's either it's you're working with it or you're working against it. And there's something either way that's not right with it. And I hope that's making sense to you, because that's the way I'm seeing somebody trying to, I see the word fear, but I see somebody trying to bend it and turn it and shape it into something, but it doesn't need to be there, because it looks like that you are reclaiming your power and there is going to be a different look to it. completely different look to even whatever you think that's supposed to look like. It's going to be a different look. I hope that made sense. All right, Mr. Marcus, Doug Graves, I'm sorry.
Yeah, either or is fine. So this one's for Brolic, about messages for your career. It seems that you'll have many opportunities actually coming in real quick when it comes to that particular facet. Um, but you have to be careful with your choices because it might lead you to uh, less money than you started out with. You may have many options, but use your intuition or your experience or any other thing that would give you an edge as to what would be the better decision. If this is not a new job or something within the career that you already have, there is an opportunity for advancement. Again, be careful of those particular choices because some of them may be dead ends. But either way, find if there's anything I can let you, any advice from what Spirit says is like, if it would be your choice, choose what would give you the most peace. So just be careful that your choices might also lead you to isolation as well or a dead end. Not necessarily with career, but with every other part of the that would touch on your life, or however the job touches your life. So just be careful with that.
Okay, let's see. Maya Woodall, what's the explanation behind why he keeps blocking and unblocking me? He could have just kept me blocked, but he recently called and said nothing. He full of shit. He's just straight up full of shit. It's showing he's not in love. Um, it's kind of like, and we just came out of Mercury in what, December? Mercury retrograde, which brings back Fulios and Fuliettes that typically go in your inbox and be like, hey, just like, hey. And I'd be like, what the fuck you want? What the fuck does that mean? Hey, I ain't talked to you in 7 years. And then you come in my inbox talking about, hey, like we just talked earlier that morning. So what the fuck? I think I just got triggered. Hold up. Let me pull it back. Musa. Whatever this person is, codependency is on top of them, which is basically, I just want to know that I can still pull your string. Like, I'm not trying to get anything from you. Maybe a little booty if you start talking to me again. But then they're dealing with somebody else. So it's like, I want to see if I can still pull your string. And then I'm going to block you and start talking to somebody else. And then when that doesn't go right, I'm going to unblock you and see if I can still pull your string. You and this person don't want the same things. And the thing about it is they're playing on an insecurity that you have. But I think you're getting frustrated with it. So it's almost like they know how to get a rise out of you. Y'all not going in the same direction now. Y'all not. What you want is not what this person wants. And there's a lot of game playing on top of this person where it looks like it just, even if you open this door again, it just goes around in circles. I don't know if they cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, but why not just block them? Block them and let them be, because it's showing that they're just like, and I don't want to say you're a dog with a collar, but it's almost like they're yanking to get a response. And it just seems childish and they know it. And that's the crazy thing about it is it doesn't even make any sense on their end either. But they're getting some type of satisfaction out of knowing that you're going to look at the messages or you're going to answer the phone call. Fuck them. Like, really? Like, what are we in kindergarten? They don't even do that shit in kindergarten.
I mean, if I were to say the way it's coming off, it's almost like he's like a self-styled alpha male who thinks himself as like a pimp or something. But I mean, it's this, you know, that comedy, the character like a pimp named Slickback or something like that. I can't remember. Do you know that? I can't remember
No.
the cartoon. No, it's a caricature of a pimp essentially. So the way he's coming off, it's like I'm this big badass pimp or something like this, or some player or a big womanizer, but it's just coming off as goofy.
Yeah,
So
it is. It's just it's weird energy because he's not offering anything to her. It doesn't look like even long term he's not offering anything. But he knows that there's an insecurity. He knows underneath the surface there's a button that he can push, and that's just he shouldn't even have that much access to her, to be honest. But you do you, babe. But mm.
no, I would just leave him on read or something. So oh yeah, no, he's coming off like Butters from South Park when he was the pimp daddy. Do you remember that episode?
I'm like, who? The way you said it, I'm like, who is Butters? Hold up, South Park Butters. I gotta even see how he look. Because I didn't look at South Park. Butterscotch. Okay, leave him on red.
No, you have to watch that episode because it's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god! So he's supposed to be a pimp. Okay, I'll look at the episode later. But that's all I got. I mean, I just see somebody playing games.
So this is for Angel Hammack. Will you have a healthy pregnancy in 2025?
Oh.
Um, I'm not a doctor or anything, and I don't like doing health-related questions, but I will say this. Please keep up with your checks and everything else. Go to your yearly physical and all that stuff. And if you, yeah, bottom bitch, that all that other stuff with Butters, yes. But anyway, make sure you keep up with your checks. If there's any other checks that you can do or other tests, do so. You might not have the best pregnancy in 2025. Just keep at with being healthy, making sure you eat right, get your nutrients in, seeing the obstetrician, and all the other stuff that's related to pregnancy and stuff. But yeah, but just keep on top of everything. Try not to overstress yourself, especially if you find yourself in stressful situations, or if you find that your stress is rising, remove yourself from the situation completely.
Mm-hmm.
Don't exacerbate yourself over nothing. But there's a thing with blood pressure too, that you have to watch out for, that um, I'm feeling. But yeah, just if there's also family history too, watch out for that, of like miscarriages or anything of that nature. But just be very mindful with pregnancy when it comes to yourself.
What day they say, am I gonna make her some Jamaican food in the next 4 months? Maybe in February. Maybe in February we'll do something. Let me see. Tatil wants to know. Let's see, and I lost it. I think the question was, will you be engaged next year? No. I got a lot of sex coming in. I even got some romantic feelings, but we got red flags on top of it. And then we got forgiveness, which means that you're dealing with somebody that might be doing something where it's constantly like, can you forgive me? Will you forgive me? Type of energy. But it's not showing that this person is making a commitment. I don't know why, but I feel like that you could be dealing with somebody that's already committed. But you're voodoo. But I definitely see something about being optimistic about it. But we got red flags on top of it. So I would say if you really are trying to be engaged, give the ultimatum. If you want the ring, give the ultimatum. If they don't give you the ring by such and such a time, especially if this is somebody that you've been dealing with, then move on, because it's showing that they're not making the commitment. Let's see.
Oh, are you finished or?
Yeah, no, I'm finished.
Okay. So real quick, Coach J, is NNK sending you the Eva Eye? Yes. It's a product of envy and jealousy. More so, I don't know if they're workers or practitioners or not, but it's coming off like an evil eye. Make sure you do your cleanses and wardings. Ask for protection from your spirits and stuff like that. Should get rid of it real quick. Melinda, I know you didn't ask a question, but be careful of your associations. Um, uh, and I hope you've been cleansing regularly and keeping your wards refreshed. If you want more of a bit of advice, Melinda, protect your money if you can. You don't want to end up losing it or getting stuck. So just be careful on that front. You don't want too much chaos, right?
Okay, so let's see. Timmy LaRode, will the trip to South Africa open up? And it looks like it will, because I got a big yes on top of it. So it looks like it will. Pranika say, yeah, you got triggered. I'd be like, yes. That whole funky, hey, what you doing? Same shit I was doing 7 years ago. What the fuck? Y'all get down.
Oh, Day Day. You don't have to be so timid anymore. You can cut loose, be adventurous, have fun. You're young. Fall in love again. But careful of the
Absolutely.
double dick.
That's the
Coming
beauty
your
of
way.
being young.
Oh, did you already do Timmy?
The one for Africa, I got a yes, but go ahead and what do you have?
Oh no, it was just I don't know if his I don't know I'm getting a grandmother or grandmotherly figure from the dead. Not sure if it's like first generation or second generation, like removed from him, like if it was his grandmother or great great grandmother. Um, but the trip is good for you. Look into your history, going back to your roots, sort of thing. Good to pick up a history book. If you have like family that you can ask for stories of the past that are still around, it'd be probably good to check in with them, or even extended family too. You might find some really interesting connections, especially when it comes to spirit. But yeah, there's a really interesting history there that you should try to look for.
Oh, sorry, I have people trying to get massages tomorrow morning. I'm like, oh Lord. Mary Elizabeth, is there a future for my situationship? There's two different people coming in for you. You have somebody coming back from the past. I feel like that there's a pull away, and then somebody comes back, and then there's a new love. So there's a decision between two people that's coming in. So one of them is leading to a commitment. One of them is just like it's gonna play out. So I feel like that there may be a decision of is this what I want, or is this what this person wants? Because it looks like somebody pulls back, and it's like they make a decision that they don't want to go further, or they're not going to pour the energy in. And then there's a new love that comes in for you. So it looks like two different people that you're going to have to make a decision with.
Well, Nika, if you wanted like love triangle, you could always, petition Mars and Venus, right? Those particular spirits. You know,
Mhm.
you can play the swingers or hell, even Jupiter too, because he's like Zeus is literally like the biggest hoe. So I mean,
Who's the biggest hoe?
Zeus, like if you were to go through like the mythology of
That
like
is true.
yeah, so like 90% of it is Zeus sticking his penis
It's
in something.
something. Yes. How many kids did Zeus end up having? Because he
I
was
didn't
he
count.
was fucking a lot of people and a
I
lot of
didn't count. I
yeah.
didn't count.
Because wasn't he coming down and doing the mortals and all kind of shit too?
He was doing everything, dude. Like that's where we get mermaids, nymphs, monsters, that sort of shit. Yeah,
Exactly.
demi-humans, you name
Oh
it.
God. Yeah, Zeus was the original hoe.
Yeah, to be honest, like the mythologies that I read, it's like I don't think I haven't like come across a bigger hoe than he is. But I mean, I could be wrong.
I
But
don't
he
think
definitely is in
so.
the top three, that's for sure.
Yeah, no. Half of mankind is contributed to Zeus. So I don't think there's a bigger hole at all. Oh my God. So let's see. Hunter. How does Hunter feel about Carmen Carnage? Let's see. How does Hunter feel? Or let's see. What is it saying? Any messages around Hunter? Hunter with Carmen. Okay. So we got heart to heart conversations. Definitely somebody dealing with some trust issues. The thing about it is that somebody is not being honest with communication. And it's kind of causing them to be blocked off. And I do feel like that because they're not being honest, that is kind of contributing to trust issues. So we have communication, we have chemistry, but we have deception with the way that somebody is talking. Um, and there's control issues on top of this person too. So spirit is showing healing needs to happen so this person can start having honest communication, because their communication is going to continue to cause problems. Are there feelings or some type of connection? It looks like yeah, but it looks like that this person needs to start communicating honestly for anything to grow or move on. Even if this is a friendship, it's almost like this person is kind of holding some things back, and it could be because they're scared. They might have trust issues. I don't know. But it's showing that as long as they do that, nothing moves forward in a timely manner. It moves real slow. Like there may be some type of commitment or something that comes in where it's like, okay, now we're connecting, but it's moving really, really slow.
Yeah, but once you're all past that, it's just gonna be mind-blowing sex.
I
So
got a lot of passion too. And I think that's why somebody's not dealing with the emotional aspect of it. They're dealing with the sexual aspect because there's a lot of chemistry.
yeah, I'm seeing a broken bed and wet sheets. So just get,
Ooh,
get it all out of the way, then you can get to that.
well, you know what? I mean, do you really need somebody to be honest with you?
Well, no, it's because he has all these blocks towards that passion, right? So
So
a
the
lot of
passion is
that
coming
is
out of the penis.
well, no, well that, but it's more like emotional shackles that he can't. He's one of those people that he's coming off that he can't separate the emotion from the act. So the act and emotion are the same, and because of that, like it's because it's like he has to trust somebody completely with his being so that he can completely love the person, right? So hence the broken bed and wet sheets. So
Well, hey, there is a commitment, but it shows that this person has to they got to
yeah,
work
that's what
on
he said.
something.
Like once the healing has like completed and stuff like that, just clear your schedule.
All that releasing, Lord have mercy. Who
Oh,
need therapy?
stretch, stretch and hydrate.
Ooh, child. I'm gonna let it go. Oh my God. Broken beds and wet sheets. Let me see. Okay, we're gonna do two more. Rage. How do I know who visited me in my dream? I crashed a party at night and there was a man with a hat and a woman who were talking to me and there was a burning cross. The man in the hat, a lot of people, he shows up in a lot of people's dreams or in their energy. So he's kind of, I don't know if he's just a spirit that travels the realm, the spiritual realm, because everybody has seen the dude in the hat, and it's really weird. And I don't even say it's weird, but a lot of times they see him at an event. Now the woman, I don't know. The woman could be different. So let's see. Who visited you in your dream? You crashed a party at night and there was a man with a hat and they were talking to you. Rage. Rage. All right, let's see. Okay, interesting, because the second card is a man with a hat and a cane. There's something about a new opportunity that is coming into you. Now, this could be ancestral energy, because I got grandmother or an older female. Now, if she didn't present as older in your dreams, there's a woman that is connecting to you. So I think this is ancestral. The cross could be a crossroads, because it looks like there's a decision that is coming in about either a relocation or a job. So let's see. And then you have grandfather energy too. So I don't know if you have a grandmother and a grandfather that have crossed over, but I'm definitely getting something with a decision that is coming in. So the burning cross could be the crossroads. What direction are you going to go? Interesting. All right, Marcus, I'm going to let you go ahead and do the last one.
Okay, so this one's for Jen Wade.
Hi, Jen. Jen was looking so beautiful because she's on TikTok. She does readings on TikTok. She was glowing the other night, and I meant to click on and tell you that you looked absolutely beautiful.
I haven't been on TikTok in a while, but
you ain't missing nothing. Ain't they supposed to be closing it down in January or something like that?
For
Anyway?
you guys, I'm up in Canada, so.
Oh, that's right. They say Canada is still going to keep it going.
But yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a message of any messages from spirit, but more like a message about you. You have gone through a new beginning. You're working on yourself. You're on the right path of going in the direction that you want. Don't lose focus. Even if you have to isolate yourself from whatever it is that you're isolating yourself from, that's still a good thing, right? Because sometimes you need that alone time. But it would be good for you in the end. And once this period of solitude is over, then yeah, emerge like the beautiful butterfly that you are out of your chrysalis. So this is a period of transformation for you. But keep doing what you're doing. And you are working on yourself. You're doing the best what you need to do for yourself, and you are on the right track. So wherever you're going to end up, waiting time is almost over. It'll be a little slower than what you'd take it for, but slow and steady is good too, right? But you'll come out stronger in the end for it.
That is good. I feel like she's definitely on the right track. Every time I see her, she looks like she's glowing to me. And I think there's a lot of abundance that's going to end up coming in 2025 for her, which is going to be amazing. And it's her time. She deserves it. We all deserve something good to be coming into this goddamn new year, because this year was a fuck fest. Didn't I say that last year about 2023 too, that it was a fuck fest? I might have. It's been a fuck fest since 2020. So I probably every goddamn year. I ain't even saying shit about 2025. I'm not gonna jinx it. Shield, I'm gonna answer just because I don't want you to to think that we ignored you, because I saw it kept coming, kept coming, kept coming. You definitely are doing something in healing, but here's the thing. I keep getting career transition, doing something different. So in 2025, you're going to have something that is either it's already opening, or you have something new that's going to be coming in where you're going to be switching gears. Looks like that the focus is, I just got to make some money. So direction is showing that you have multiple options with money opportunities coming in, which means I can do this, I can do that, or I can do something else. But it is showing a career change, something that maybe you're doing now that you won't be doing next year. All right. So I hope that helps. Doug Graves, tell them how to get a hold of you.
So you can find me on my Facebook business page, The Friendly Neighborhood Necromancer. There's also a booking link there to my business page as well. So you can book a personal reading with me. So just so you know, I don't do live readings, I do reports. My philosophy that it lasts longer, they can always refer back to the reading, right? So nothing's lost. But yeah, I just do geomancy readings straight up. But if you're looking for more theurgical stuff, but I do those too. But those are a little bit more expensive. So it's all on the website.
And he gives really in-depth readings, you guys. If you even just saw like tonight, like he really goes into a lot of information. It's really hard to do lives and have like 5 minutes to really get into a question, because actually what he does is like paper, like multiple. It's a big report that he does. So if you do connect with him, expect that it's going to be like a big report that you're getting. It's worth the money if you're really trying to get some direction in, what's coming into the new year and what works and what doesn't. All right, my loves. And y'all know how y'all can get a hold of me. Booking page. Do not, because they fixing to roll through here. These scammers fixing to ask you for some money. They're going to tell you they got a message. My ass, y'all know after these lives, I go eat. I go feed my face, and then I go sit down and look at TV and decompress. So I will not be messaging anyone. You do not have to friend request any page. My pages are public. So if they are pretending to be me and they're asking you for a friend request, it's just because they want to be able to get on your page and message you. Don't let these scammers take advantage of you. All right.
It's weird that we haven't seen any tonight. So
they're gonna come. They're gonna come. A lot of times it's a time zone thing for them. It's almost like they go back, they look at the live, and then they start trying. Voodoo, wait a minute, y'all. Hold up. Let me. This damn cat is scratching the damn paint off the door. Go. It's just a raccoon. Go on. But yeah, they're coming. So y'all, please don't get taken advantage of by these foolios. All right. I love y'all. Have a very, very safe New Year's. If I don't see you before then. And you too, Mr. Doug Graves. What you doing for New Year's before I let you go?
I don't know, maybe family stuff, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like going though, so
Yeah.
I'd rather sleep.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing. Why shit? I ain't done anything in years anyway, because I don't like to be on the road. I got night blindness anyway. I can't see shit.
I mean, in my old age, I want my beauty sleep. So.
Oh my god, boy, bye, bye, y'all. What you say? Your beauty sleep? You're so